There's a fundraiser apparently for a fellow called Dominic Capaldi, a man who was sentenced to 34 years in prison for his involvement in the violent protest outside a hotel housing asylum seekers in Bristol. To provide context, Capaldi was caught on video throwing objects at police officers who were attempting to manage a crowd outside the Mercure Hotel. Now, the Mercure Hotel chain has, rather like some other chains like the Clear Springs homes, done a deal with the government to take in asylum seekers, but the Mercure Hotel has also kept part of its hotel chain open to ordinary paying guests. In fact, I've stayed in a Mercure hotel and realised while I was there that half the hotel was occupied by asylum seekers. And there was quite a difference between the two halves. And this man, Capaldi, was there protesting, and the hotel was the target of anti-immigration protests. The protest, which turned violent, of course, was one of several incidents across the UK following the stabbing in Southport, a crime that's initially been misreported in a way that fueled anti-immigrant sentiment, but that really isn't an excuse. Now, what's caused particular outrage is not just the nature of Capaldi's actions, but the fact that a fundraiser has been established to support his family during his incarceration. The crowdfunding effort, initially initiated by a friend, was originally aimed at raising £1,000, but had already surpassed £3,000, largely due to a £2,500 donation from Tristan Tate, the brother of the controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate. This fundraiser, however, has been met with widespread anger and disbelief. Now, of course, people who are imprisoned, I think it's important, A, that they should be visited, B, that they should be looked after, and C, that their families should be cared for. But there's something deeply dirty about a public fundraiser to support somebody who has just been identified as a ringleader in riots aimed at people who are completely vulnerable. And people have taken to social media to express their frustration. One person encapsulated the general sentiment by saying, "Was he not throwing stuff at the police? Is that not a crime?" Indeed, Capaldi himself pleaded guilty to the charges, so he's acknowledged his role in this disorder. But despite this, his supporters argue that the sentence is unjust. How? How? I mean, if he'd glued himself to the road, maybe he would have got more months in prison. Surely the only injustice is that he wasn't punished as severely as the people who were protesting against oil. His supporters are saying that his sentence was imposed too quickly without due consideration of the context. The context was surely clear. It was all filmed. Tristan Tate's involvement in the fundraiser has only added fuel to the fire. And Tate, along with his brother Andrew, is awaiting trial in Romania on serious charges including rape and human trafficking, allegations they both deny. Are they soon going to face allegations or charges of incitement? Who knows? The Tate's association with this fundraiser has drawn them into this topic more deeply and drawn further criticism, given their own controversial history and the significant platform they possess on social media. The situation raises important questions. Now, as I say, I vigorously support prison reform and prison visiting and the care of prisoners and their families, but I think this goes beyond that. Firstly, what does it say about the state of public discourse when individuals convicted of violent disorder are not only defended but financially supported through public fundraising efforts? Secondly, how do we reconcile the freedom to protest with the need to maintain public order and protect the safety of citizens, including police officers who put themselves in harm's way? if we then run around the place and fundraise to support people who have just been found guilty. James Martin Picton, who sentenced Capaldi, made it clear that the protest's violent turn was not an isolated incident, but part of a coordinated effort by extremists to sow fear and division within the community. He said, "You were a part of that, standing within a large confrontational group who were acting in concert. And in particular, you chose to throw objects at the mounted police officers who were required to put themselves and their horses in harm's way to protect others." It's worth noting that 460 people have now been charged in relation to the unrest following the Southport stabbing, including 72 minors. What example are we giving to school children? The broader social implications of this event and others like it are profound and will resonate for years. This forces us to confront the underlying tensions and the fears that drive such actions and how these are manipulated by those with extremist agendas. But there is only one agendum, and that is to promote peace, to promote reconciliation, and to protect. Now, from that point of view, the protection of this man's family, Dominic Capaldi's family, is a reasonable consideration. But the context makes this fundraiser seem extremely dodgy and extremely worrying. Because it's not just about a single individual or a single event, it's a reflection of the deep divisions and the complex interplay between justice, public safety, freedom of expression, and community support within our society. While it's natural for family and friends to want to support their loved ones, it's crucial to consider the broader consequences of endorsing or supporting actions that undermine the rule of law and the safety of our communities, or that appear to do so. I think supporting this fundraiser is, in the end, a mistake. I certainly would not do so. But I think it sends out the wrong signals. And I'm sorry.